Week 2 NFL recap. Am I in a good mood? Just a little bit. Before we get into this one today, we got a Monday Night Football, boys. Let's talk about all the games. We'll start with the Falcons. Then we'll cover every other game. Fantastic week. It was a fantastic week of football, right? Go. All right, I'm going to try to be as unbiased as possible as we go through all of this stuff. Now, obviously, I am extremely happy that the Falcons did come away with the win, but let's talk about a few things here that I noticed within the game. One, we could talk about the end. Obviously, Saquon dropping the pass, right? Just would have won the game, right? We talk all the ending aside and how all that. First things first, I know that Kirk looked great at the end of the game in the 2-minute drill. But I don't think he looked great otherwise. I thought he looked much better this week. If you didn't watch the Steelers game, you may not know. You may have just heard about it, but he definitely did look better. One thing that is still very concerning to me watching him is the ball really isn't moving very fast. So some of those timing routes, the timing is a bit off, especially if those guys have ever run routes with Penix, who he's got a cannon, right? So it's a little bit missing there still with Kirk and all that. The variety of play calling was a lot better. Even when we went for the 4th down at the end, I liked the play call. I trusting Bijan one-on-one is kind of what you got to go with. But again, aside from a few of those things, Bijan carries the team for the most part. However, in the first half, and at least going into the third quarter, they were leaning on him between the 20s, which is fantastic. You got to move the ball down the field. But then he comes off the field when we get in the red zone. And I feel like that's a big miss. I think it sort of appeared like they shifted that a little bit. They maybe even recognized it was where Algier started getting some early carries. So we'll see how that plays in going up. Well, the Chiefs are coming here actually, but playing the Chiefs is not going to be easy, obviously. So that's something I would like to see corrected. I think there was a field goal that we had. Kirk completely should have thrown a touchdown 1 or 2 times on the play. It just did not. Again, maybe he's not trusting himself, not trusting the arm that he's going to get through there. Maybe he's thrown the ball away a little too quickly. I don't know, because the pressure really wasn't there tonight. The offensive line did a very good job. No blitzing, no TJ Watt, big difference this week. So all told, I thought the Falcons played pretty well as units, as groups. Some players played better than others. I still would like to see, obviously, Kyle Pitts do more. I think that's a fair thing. I don't know what he's doing sometimes. I would like to see him do more. I think that having the linebackers injured was not as big as the AJ Brown injury, obviously, for Philly, but it actually was massive because our linebacker play was not fantastic. And obviously, Jalen Hurts is the reason they stayed in that game. He did so much. You got to do better against those guys. Playing against Justin Fields, I think, helped early on with Hurts, but once Hurts kind of found that he could just run, well, he was just running, and I have no problem with that. Again, you got to get better at that. We're probably not playing anyone else of that caliber the rest of the year. I know we have some other tough games. Obviously, the schedule looks a lot harder than it is, but you've got Mahomes, then Derek Carr, then Baker Mayfield, and then whoever's quarterbacking the Panthers. You've got Sam Darnold on the list. You've got Jaden Daniels, Daniel Jones, Gardner Minshew. So again, we're not going to face a Jalen Hurts type. I loved the way that they played all game. The game was close. That's really what I was looking for here. I was not expecting a win. I'm glad we won, obviously. But we needed to show progress week to week, and they absolutely did that. Again, some things you need to work on. A win is a win. That's fantastic. It was a come-from-behind win. Maybe even a lucky win, but you take it. Yeah, you got a tough task next week, boys. I'm going to be at the game. I'll be at the game. I'm watching you. I'm watching you in person. Let's talk about everyone else. Some of these games are going to hurt me to give my little few sentences on, but 1-on-1, that's as good as I could have asked for right now, honestly. Gentlemen, we got a big weekend of football coming up. There's a lot of it. There's a lot. We got college, we got NFL, we got Kirk Cousins on primetime with the Falcons. I might cry. Don't worry about me. Either way, perfect time to go check out PrizePicks today and use code CC when you sign up. That way you can get $50 free credit instantly on your account as soon as you make your first lineup. But you got to use code CC. That's just, it's a small catch, but it's an easy catch. And yes, it does help support the channel and help support me and allows me to do all this fun stuff. So thank you guys so much for that. Again, you want to play the same plays that I have. They're always going to be over on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, the actual CC, but go check that out. Again, maybe you can play in your state. Little map right here. And then again, keep in mind, we have a Caleb Williams free square to use every single Sunday the entire month of September. So make sure you guys use that, whether you're new to PrizePicks, old to PrizePicks, either way, that's up to you. Go have fun. Good luck, boys. I hope you win a ton. And use code CC. Back to the video. Game by game, Browns and Jaguars. First off, I was really high on Trevor Lawrence for a while. I don't really know what's going on there. Is it a Jacksonville thing? Is it a Doug Peterson thing? I don't know. And if we happen to have a Jags fan watching, let me know what you think about what's going on there. Something just seems off. Colts and Packers. I don't know how the Colts, how you lose this game. Like, Malik Willis is so raw as a passer. They don't give him a lot of chances. And Green Bay just ran the ball down the throat. The game was over in like an hour. It was pretty crazy. Then we get Chargers, Panthers. I'm a little surprised that Bryce Young got benched, but this is Jim Harbaugh. All he does is win. Like, what more do you say? Raiders, Ravens. Watched a lot of this one as well. There's something wrong with the Ravens somewhere along the way. Is it a Harbaugh thing there? No, I don't know. I don't see enough of the Ravens necessarily, but they blew that game. Like, they lost the game. The Raiders didn't win the game. They lost the game. And at the end of the game, it was like, I wonder who we should cover. Probably Devontae Adams, just to guess. But they shouldn't have done that. I don't know. It's weird. Baltimore 0-2 going to Dallas. Interesting. Speaking of Dallas, why do the Saints look like the best team in football? Why? I'm gonna give them all the credit in the world. They beat Carolina. Great. You beat Dallas. That's great. That's a good win in Dallas. A four score win is ridiculous. I don't think New Orleans is as good as they've looked, obviously. I think that they'll come down to earth. But again, this is basically the same team they had last year with different coaching, with a different scheme, all that sort of stuff. When I say different coaching, I'm not wildly different, but Kubiak is apparently doing a fantastic job. Kamara deserves the ball all the time. He's a fantastic player. Derek Carr being this good, and it's weird to say this good because I see enough of the Saints. I just do. First off, I don't know how you guys keep letting Rashid Shaheed get deep. That's a weird thing. He's really good at doing that. Don't let him do that. Second thing, Derek Carr, as many points as they're putting up, a lot of it happens to be their defense. Derek Carr's not throwing for a ton of yards, not throwing for a ton of passes. I think he's only thrown like 45 passes this season. He's only got 460 yards. Again, not a ton of yards for someone who's scored 15 straight possessions. Interesting. But give the Saints their flowers. Like I said, I'm not going to be biased here. Giants at Commanders. If the Giants had a real quarterback or a kicker, they probably win this game. Commanders ended up being the better team simply because of that. 7 field goals, 6 of them down to the red zone. Again, it's a win is a win. It's not a very promising win. You shouldn't beat a team with Daniel Jones, no kicker, and win by 3. I don't know if this is a true stat, but I believe it was the first team to score 2 or more touchdowns and lose to a team that didn't score any touchdowns. Something weird like that. Interesting. Jets, Titans. Jets are the better team. They deserve to get this win. Will Levis, you're hurting your team. You're just hurting your team. Stop making bad mistakes. That's it. Seahawks and Patriots. I didn't see any of that game. I think the Seahawks are wildly talented too. Wildly talented. They didn't even have Kenneth Walker. Crazy Kenneth Walker story. When we were in Hawaii, we did a little expedition, and he was there. He's a big guy. He's a big guy. Niners, Vikings. What are you doing? What are you, Shanahan? This classic Shanahan type of loss. But again, at the same point, Vikings stood up there. They played well. Jefferson, Darnold, all played well. The 97-yard touchdown changed the game. Even though it happened, things like that can't happen. Bucs beat Detroit. Detroit, you had all the chances in the world to win this game. However, how many teams win by throwing the ball 50, 60 times? Not many. And you've got Montgomery and Gibbs. I'm not really sure what they were. Just played bad, I guess. Just played bad. I guess we'll just say they played bad. Rams and Cardinals. Kyler Murray is either, in my opinion, one of the best players in the league, or just plays so bad. To me, I will say it to a lot of people, I firmly believe he is one of, if not the most pound for pound talented players I've ever watched play football. That's a real statement, and I really stand by it. I'm a huge fan. Huge fan. It's nice to see him get going with Marv. But again, the Rams are super hurt. It is what it is. Bengals at Chiefs. It was pass interference. And it was also legal hands to face the play before. It was. Steelers and Broncos. This is what happens when you give Arthur Smith a defense. This is what happens. This is what the Steelers are. Very good defense against the Broncos, right? Very good defense. As long as Justin Fields plays within the system, doesn't turn the ball over, Steelers are going to beat a lot of teams. Bears at Texans. Caleb Williams not looking fantastic right now. And the pressures aside, I saw, he got pressured on 70, 80% of his dropbacks, which is an absolutely absurd number. And no quarterback is going to succeed with those numbers. But they were still in the game. They still had a chance. And there were times when, maybe he was rolling out, or some of his throws just looked really bad. It looks like he's still in college, if that makes sense, which is good. I think that's a fine thing, because he's gonna get better. He's gonna get better. How much better? I don't know. And then Bills Dolphins. To get well soon. That's all I got to say about that one. Get well soon. That's our NFL Week 2 recap. Again, hopefully next week goes well for your team. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Couple good games. Falcons at Chiefs is a good game. We got Dallas, Baltimore is a good game. New Orleans, Philly is a good game. I'm sure I'm missing some. Those three stand out to me. Lots of impact coming in there. Some kind of ugly games. It's going to be some kind of ugly game. And it is what it is. Boys, thank you so much. I'm happy. You always take a win. Again, there's always things to improve on. I saw a lot that I feel like the Falcons need to get better with. But I couldn't be more proud of them actually showing up and improving. And that's a massive thing, because for the past few years, that hasn't happened. It hasn't happened. It's been ugly. This was the best win they've had in a while. Love you guys. I'm out. Peace.